Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name's Alex and you are watching BC Adventure. Today we're going to be looking at self-hosting a recipe manager for our family and friends and maybe even co-workers out there. It's an application called Mealie, and it is a great application that I was previously using, but after I replaced my old home-built server with an enterprise server, I ended up losing all of my recipes. So I decided that I want to rebuild that all up again. And one of the amazing features about this application is that you can actually submit a link and it'll actually break down the recipe and get rid of all the nonsense story BS that's tied in with almost all recipes that you see out there, specifically on allrecipe.com. They are notorious for putting in these life stories before actually being able to get down to the nitty-gritty of what you need to do to start the recipe, get the ingredients, your bake time, cook time, all that fun stuff. This application actually just cuts through all that crap and it just formats it so nicely, even pulls pictures and just presents it so beautifully and perfect for anyone to be able to follow along. Now, when I previously had this application set up, my kids, my wife, myself, my grandparents, and my in-laws all used it, as well as a few coworkers who were interested in some of our home recipes that we had. Now, another great feature about this application is that it also gives you grocery lists for recipes that you want to plan out during the week, and then it also gives you a meal planner, so you can select recipes that you want to plan out for your week, and it'll give you a grocery list for everything that you need for the week. So this is an extremely versatile application. It's one that I absolutely love, and I can't believe it's taken me almost a year to get back to using it again. So without further ado, let's jump right into it and get this application installed and set up, and I'll walk you through all the steps that we need to do. All right, so to get started, the first thing we're going to have to do is head on over to our Community Apps tab and search for Mealie. So we'll go ahead and do that. And it is the only one available, just the one application. So we'll go ahead and click Install. And then here, as long as you don't have port 3000 utilized, you can leave that the same. For Allow Sign Up, this is if you're going to make this publicly accessible. So in my case, I'm going to leave it at false. And then it also wants to set up a email server connection so that if you do have a publicly facing instance and you do want people to be able to sign up, it'll send a confirmation email and you have to verify and all that fun stuff. So I actually am going to set this up, and but not right now. Because it does expose password and all that stuff, and I just don't want that stuff exposed. But if you do want to have this publicly accessible, it is recommended that you set all this up. For the base URL, I am going to set mine up as recipe.familyo.ca. And then knowing that this is port 3000, I'm going to actually jump over to my proxy manager, and I'm going to set up this subdomain. I've already done it on my web host, so all I need to do is just add a proxy host. And for that, I'm going to do recipe.familyo.ca. I'm going to set the scheme as HTTPS, and I'm going to set my Unraid IP address and then the port 3000. For SSL, because I do want an SSL, we're going to request a new certificate and agree, and I'm going to enable HTTP2 support and save. So what it's doing now is creating an SSL certificate for this subdomain. And then once this is done, we'll input this domain name into our Mealie Docker settings. Now, if you're using like a Tailscale or a VPN, then you can ignore all this stuff. You can just use your local host and then VPN into it. But for me, I'm going to set this. Oh, it's already set there. Yeah, already did that. So all I need to do now is just click apply. And it's going to go ahead and start downloading from the repository and get this all set up. Once this is done, we will jump right back into the video. All right, so that is all finished now. We'll go ahead and click done. And then as usual, we're going to pop back over to the Docker. And we are going to check the logs. So it does look like it is up and running. So let's go ahead and open our web UI. And here we go. So the default password is set right up here. So luckily, we don't need to do anything. We can just go ahead and paste that in. Oh, okay, that didn't work. We'll go ahead and put in change me. Oh, help if I spelled it right. At example.com. And then the password, my password. Go ahead and click login. And not now. All right, so right off the bat, we need to start setting this guy up. So welcome to Mealie, let's get started. So we first need to choose a language, and we are going to set it as American English, as long as we can here. And it looks like we just have British English, so we'll just leave that as is. Click next. Here we need to set up a username. So I'm going to set my username, put in my name, I'll put in my email address, and set a password. So enable advanced content. Enable advanced features like recipe scaling, API keys, webhooks, and data management. Don't worry, you can always change this later. So we'll just leave that as is. Site settings here, we did not enable public access, so we're going to make sure that this is not selected. And then for data management, use seed data. So Mealie ships with a collection of foods, units, and labels that can be used to populate your groups with helpful data for organizing your recipes. These are translated into language you currently have selected, and you can always add or modify this data later. So we'll go ahead and click next. It's going to give us a summary, and then we'll submit. And it looks like we are pretty much done here. Looks like it's just saving it all up. And here we are. So if I click on my username here, oh wow, there's quite a bit of stuff we can do here. We can add API tokens, cookbooks, members, webhooks, notifiers. We can set groups, manage our data, data migrations. Let's just see if our user profile took. Yes, it did. Okay. So here, if we go to recipes, we don't have anything. So like I was telling you before, there's a meal planner, there's shopping lists, there's timelines, there's cookbooks we can add, and then there's organizers. So by categories, tags, and tools. And that's one great thing that this application allows us to do is add tags to our recipes to make it easier to search for them later on. So if we don't remember the name of a recipe we submitted into the system, we can always find it by tags. So let's get started by adding a recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to allrecipe.com. And yeah, not into casseroles. Let's do the unbelievable chicken. We'll view the recipe. Okay, I'm a little shocked here because All Recipe used to be so heavy on the life stories when you would, open up a recipe. It would never just give you the recipe. It would always give you a big life story that was, 30 pages long, and then you get to the bottom, and you'd finally get the recipe. So if we want to upload this into Mealie, we can just go ahead and we can copy the URL, and then we'll go back to Mealie and we'll create a recipe, and we can import by URL. So here we're just going to put in the URL, and then we can import original keywords as tags if we want, or we can stay in edit mode. So let's just click create. And what it's doing now is actually pulling the recipe. And as you can see, It gives us our prep time, our cook time, and our total time, just like was in the recipe. It downloads the picture, and then it gives us our step-by-step directions. It is a wonderful application. And then you can even go to the original URL. So back when my wife and I subscribed to the, what was it called? You know, those food subscription boxes, they would send us those paper cards with the recipes on it. And a few of them we really liked, but it was really annoying putting in all those recipes manually. But then they started including a little QR code in the bottom right corner of the cards. And from there, I'd go to that QR code, I'd grab the URL, and I'd put it into Mealie, and it would put the whole recipe in, so that later on, if we ever wanted to make that recipe again, we wouldn't need to use the meal card. We could just recycle those and just use Mealie. So again, let's find another recipe here. All Recipes, such a terrible website. Let's use these apple cider Hawaiian donuts here. And again, we'll copy the URL. We'll go back to Mealie, create, import, and we'll put in the URL. Click create. And here we go. It is downloaded the recipe that we need, as well as all the ingredients and steps. This is a great application for the home baker or someone who has an old cookbook that they've handwritten into, you know, maybe had passed down to them. This is a really great application to use to manage all of that digitally. And then, of course, this thing does back itself up. So if you ever do have an issue with the application, you can grab the data from the database. You can copy the actual database and then import it to another instance of Mealie. Or you can actually export all your recipes and then import to another application if you like. Now, one of the nice things is that you can actually select that you have made this, or you can even give it a star rating as well. So we'll go ahead and give this 5 stars. But what else can we do with this application? Well, let's go over to shopping lists. We can actually create a shopping list, and we'll give it a list name, you know, weekly shop. And here we can add ingredients and stuff, all that we need. We can add it by unit, you know, the food type. I don't know what all, you know, okay. So they have a huge number of items already pre-populated. But what if we want to do a recipe or an ingredient list for this guy here? Well, what we need to do for that is we need to go to our meal planner. So here, let's edit our meals. And here we can add a, let's call this breakfast meal recipe. We'll do the unbelievable chicken. Do create for Thursday. Well, where are we here? We will add this guy in here. We'll call this one dinner. We'll do the apple cider Hawaiian donuts. Click create. And then from here, we can, oh, how do we do this guy here? We'll go back, go to our, let's see, weekly shop, no. Oh, I forget how to do this. On the old version, when you did a meal planner, you could set it so that it would give you all your recipes. But I'm now realizing I forget how to do this. Okay. Oh, and another thing I want to point out is that you can actually select the ingredients you've already put into the recipe, so that keeps things nice and organized. Let's see. All right, so I guess I'm going to do a follow-up video on this. Add to list. Oh, okay, there we go. Add to list. So if we click add to list, this will give us all our ingredients. So let's do that for both. We'll go to our shopping lists. And here on our weekly shop, we have all the ingredients that we need to pick up from the store to make these recipes. So this is a great application. I wholeheartedly swear by it because I actually do bake and cook quite a bit at home here. It's something that my oldest daughter and I do together quite often. And this used to be an application that we would use. We both had it on our phones. We would cook off our phones or our iPads. And it was just a all-around great application to use to manage our recipes. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get all our recipes back into this application and get our kitchen iPad set back up with it so that we can start utilizing it again like we used to. One of the things that I will admit is that we've been really slacking off on our meals lately. We've been kind of just throwing stuff together without much of a plan. So this will be a good way for us to get back into eating a little bit more healthy and structuring our meals so that we're not scrambling around at dinner time with how busy things are getting with the kids being back in school. So with all that said, I hope you found this video useful. Please like and comment down below. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to see. Let me know how your experience was with getting this application installed. Let me know how you like it. Let me know if you don't like it. The engagement down below really helps boost the videos. And I don't know if YouTube's changed their algorithm lately, but my views have been tanking over the last few weeks. And I know I'm not the only creator that's been seeing this. I know there's a couple other big creators out there that are seeing their views go down as well. So, maybe my content just isn't as relevant as it needs to be, or, maybe my titles aren't as poppy as they should be, or, eye-catching, or, attention grabbing. But with all that said, the engagement really does help boost these videos and get them seen by more people. So, and as you can tell, my mouth is really dry right now. I'm still getting over that cold that I've had for the last week. And it's kind of taken all my energy out of me, but I really want to get a video put together for you guys. As you know, it is something I really enjoy doing for the community. I hope to have another one up by Tuesday or Wednesday in the following week here, so stay tuned for those. And as always, make your suggestions down below if there's any other content you'd like to see, any other applications covered. With all that said and done, I will catch you in the next one, and just have to say it, tech isn't perfect, and neither am I. With all that said, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everyone.